I believe a massive aspect of security within ourselves and in our lives and in our relationships requires surrender. It does not mean that we have control or certainty of anything, because that isn't what being a human is. Being a human means that there's uncertainty. Being a human means that we have to surrender. Being a human means we have to trust. And so this week, ask yourself, where am I still trying to control in my life? Where am I still exercising control, and where can I lean into more trust? Where am I trying to control the outcomes versus allowing myself space to surrender? Where can I find more space for love to enter versus trying to be operating 10 steps ahead to keep myself safe? Could I be protecting myself too much? Could I surrender more? Could I let more beauty enter my life if I stopped trying to have control over everything? Because in our relationships, we learn where we need to exercise control. Early on in your childhood or in past relationships or past work experiences, you learned control was necessary in order to maintain safety, in order to be seen, in order to be valued, in order to receive something in return, right? Something you needed, whether that be a paycheck or a house over your head or a bed underneath your body or a sense of love or security or belonging. And so in order to feel safe, we learn control mechanisms within our nervous system, within our body, that become really addictive or really habitual. And so as we are moving through our day to day and these seasons of our lives, we're looking to find more security, but oftentimes we think that the control is helping us, but it's running us depleted. It's running us into exhaustion. It's like draining our batteries, because if we really get honest, all of us want to be able to put our hands up and surrender and have life just like happen. Right? That's what we're trying to create. We're trying to build these foundations for ourselves in our work, in our business, in our bank accounts, in our homes, in our family lives, in our relational lives, so that we could feel the sense of trust that we could put our hands up and life would be peaceful anyway, right? We're all craving that. We're all testing if we could do that. We're all testing, oh, could I not work for a week and be okay? Could I lose my health and be taken care of? Could I, confirmation, could I not be fully okay or not be fully on and still be loved by somebody? And so I want you to, we're going to put that on Do Not Disturb. I want you to really get clear on where you could be exercising control in your life, where you're really, really hoping for deep surrender, where you're really, really craving to let go. And how could you build more trust in yourself to trial and error minuscule little moments of more surrender, minuscule moments where you pause instead of act, where you respond versus react, where you really sit back and watch the inner dialogue within your head, right? Not everyone can hear that inner voice, but could you build the ability to listen and hear and say, oh, wow, I'm reacting out of fear right now. This isn't something I have to do. I'm doing this to protect myself. And so in this week, observe, stay curious. The more that you're curious, the more you operate in a spaciousness where more surrender can enter. But if you're not curious about why you're doing the things you're doing, or why the other people around you are doing the things that they're doing out of reaction to their emotions and your own emotions, we're all navigating and maneuvering these inner worlds that are filled with emotions and filled with energy. And so this spiritual connection is one where our emotions get to be on the surface, right? What is more spiritual than being authentic, right? What is more spiritual than being authentic? What is more spiritual than allowing your authenticity to lead? And that means it feeling safe for your heart to be worn on your sleeve, right? How beautiful is that, to feel like your real emotions get to be expressed in the world, and for not only the people around you to see it, but for you to build this relationship with a higher power, to know that you're held, to know that you're safe, to know that you might not have to do so much in order to be safe. Maybe that's an illusion. Maybe that's something we've been taught or conditioned out of fear, out of pain, out of a collective societal conditioning since we were young, that maybe that's not realistic, right? Maybe that's immature to think. Maybe that's not, maybe that's going to be looked down upon or judged. And so how can you trust versus control? How can you surrender versus overplan? How can you allow and receive versus act and push and force? And I hope that supports you this week. So honor your wins. Anytime that you surrender a little bit, anytime you pause a little bit, give yourself credit, right? Reward yourself, honor yourself, journal, like, I'm so proud of myself for doing this. What did you do well? And where are you allowing more space in? Because God, Spirit, Jesus, Allah, Yahweh, fill in the blank with anything, the infinite, something that you look up to, nature, it's here to support you. Fill in the blank with whatever you believe. If you anchor into something that's not just you, that is this belief that you are held, that there's a plan, that everything could be here as a teacher and it could be perfect, it allows you to maneuver the pain differently, to not become victim and to say, wow, all of this could be leading me to something even greater. Maybe even better things are coming. Maybe this is setting me up for my greatest life and my most abundance and my greatest sense of ever feeling loved in my X amount of years that I've lived on this planet. Maybe it's going to get even better when I allow the pain of life to enter me as well. Maybe I can surrender versus control. Maybe I don't have to be victim and can see myself as a player in this experience that is being gifted with even the challenging moments, because it's bringing more space for more light. So happy day, whatever day you're watching this. And if this resonates with you, let me know. If these video contents are feeling supportive to your process, please like or share it or send it to a friend that needs to hear this today, because secure attachment does not come from only within ourselves. It does not come definitely as putting the power in somebody else's hands. It comes from a relationship with self that is deeply honoring and gives ourselves credit and is soft and nurturing and loving. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, in light of the nurturing energy, the mothering energy, the feminine energy. And also it requires us, the secure attachment requires us to also surrender and believe and trust that we are safe and have this anchoring not only in this divine up here, but also in the divine or God or spirit or source that's below us, that's anchored in this unknown, right? There's something beautiful about the idea of not just being like up in the clouds or in the heavens of what we might think of like divine or God. It's also in the earth and in the darkness below us. And so that is a way that I really resonate with this anchor point that's like in the earth versus like up in the sky. And so secure attachment requires that here, before your heart can open. You need a relationship with self. You need a relationship with something greater. Then the portal opens for a healthier relationship with another person. So sending you all love, and hope you have a beautiful week.